Elex. Elex is a science fantasy themed action role-playing video game, developed by Piranha Bytes. It was released worldwide on the 17th of October 2017 for PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and Windows. Elex stands for Eclectic, Lavish, Exhilarating, and Xenial. The game has been described as an edgy, dark and compromising, and complex post-apocalyptic, sci-fi role-playing game, where the protagonist joins the war for the powerful resource Elex, which gives people magic-like powers. You play as a Jax. The protagonist is an Alb commander, sent on a special mission by the Albs. His aircraft is shot down by an unknown enemy, and then crashes over a mountain. He is knocked out for days, in which time, most of the Elex clears out of his body, leaving him weak and alone, in an unknown location, and with a chaos of emotions. He needs to regain his powers by joining a faction. He learns about how the free people live, while at the same time looks to understand what happened on the day of the crash, and who attacked him. Albs are known for their addiction to Elex, an element that has permeated through the planet since the impact of the comet, which makes them both immensely strong, and emotionally void. Luckily, after some tutorial-infused meandering, you bump into a selfless soul, willing to escort you to safety, and exhaustively fill you in on the backstory, during which you become receptive to the commonly held notion that the Alb are a bunch of idiots, and that joining one of the other three factions might prove beneficial, as you plan some form of revenge on your former employer. First thing first, features of this game. Features of this game includes completely seamless open-world experience, without borders and loading zones, for the ultimate exploration experience. Use of jetpack to reach any place in the game world. Simulated game world, where everything reacts to the player's actions, and provides for an authentic atmosphere. Highly interconnected quest system, that support true player choices. Tactical and challenging combat system, for close and ranged combat. Universe set in a post-apocalyptic science fantasy universe, that combines the most interesting aspects of all genres. This game is sprawling, ambitious, Euro-style RPG in the tradition of series, like The Witcher and Gothic, and there's plenty to admire, across its more than 50 hours of adventuring. But while it spends about half its time making me want to sing its praises, it spends the other half wondering, why did they made this game so complicated, especially the combat, at the beginning of the game. The seamless open world is built on a strong foundation of detailed lore that feels unlike anything the genre has thrown at us before. There are dazzling sci-fi elements like super soldiers and radioactive mutants, but also a clan of woodsy wizards, who keep away all technology. The story is definitely the strongest pillar holding up Elex. The twists are unexpected and memorable. The characters are endearing, with multi-layered and engaging backstories. There are lots of outlaws in the game, and they all have their darker motivations bubbling beneath the surface, as do most of the characters you sometimes must endure conversations with. For example, early on, you'll likely be asked to investigate a murder on behalf of the local berserker lord, in the course of which, it becomes apparent that your quest giver isn't all he appears to be. Do you rat on him in return for cash and favors, or do you cover for him? One aspect of the game that certainly is hard work is the combat. It's not that the mechanics are particularly difficult to grasp, more the fact that it takes a while to get a feel for the timing of your attacks. Even a lowly rat can cut you down with just a couple of swipes. The ranged combat is more of a mixed bag. The vast array of weapons types and abilities is perhaps unmatched in any other like-minded game, with bows, shotguns, plasma rifles, flamethrowers, grenades, spells, psi abilities and explosives all there to be sampled, augmented further with multiple ammo types, and weapons modifications to install. Thankfully most tricky encounters can be evaded thanks to your jetpack, which allows you to quickly leap out of danger, onto any nearby outcrop or platform, and pretty much explore the entire map without enduring too many scrapes. Most frustrating is when you successfully hit an enemy with either a melee or ranged attack, and it does no damage whatsoever, at least until you've hit it 3 or 4 times. Initially, I thought this had something to do with my stamina meter being drained, but that just stops you from attacking in the first place. I never did work out the precise reason why this happens, but it's stunningly frustrating, as it makes nearly every engagement feel horribly unbalanced, and overshadowing Alex's better qualities. Alex's world is no doubt enticing, but the good moments are heavily dispersed among some rough technical problems, and odd designs that only serve to frustrate. The game offers an incredibly designed world, and the basis of a compelling RPG, that disappointingly fails to live up to its potential. For a game that relies heavily on its combat for progression, it feels overwhelmingly geared against you. The thing is, when you swing a weapon, you are 100% locked into that animation. In Elex, you will die a lot, if not ran away from the enemies. You have to play consistently to achieve the level of confidence in this game, but that's why exploring is fun, isn't it? So that brings to the question what I didn't like about this game, and problems I've faced. The biggest problem with Elex is that, it's buggy to the point, I almost wasn't able to finish it. Broken event triggers, horrible party member AI, and missing or misplaced map markers that make quest targets impossible to find. Even when everything is working as intended, the combat balance often feels absurd. Games like Dark Souls are punishing, but never feel unfair. Certain quests in Elex, on the other hand, made me feel like I had to break, or circumvent its core systems, to win. Some required me to snipe a couple enemies from a large group with fireballs at a distance, run several hundred yards to a shack with a bed, take a quick nap to regain my health, and return to repeat this process 4 or 5 times. The fact that I have to take a small nap just to regain my health is not only annoying, but also time-consuming. The designers also seem stubbornly phobic of many quality of life features that became standard in the genre for a reason. Things like having to constantly buy potions from vendors to heal yourself was utter boring and cumbersome. Pricing: you can buy this game on Steam and on Origin for $49.99 plus $9.99 for all DLCs. So the last thing I wanna say is thank you for watching, and if you are new on this channel, please make sure to subscribe, like, and comment.